Alrighty guys, welcome back. Currently today we are out here in the driveway, this time at night. It's just a little bit before 9 p.m. right here. And today guys, we're checking out the Ford Excursion, the 2000 Ford Excursion here. And more specifically, my new rock lights I went ahead and put in a few days ago. So figured it'd be a cool little video to share with you guys. Now the wiring job really wasn't the best. The main thing I did, or the best thing I did with this wiring job was I was able to pull out this. Obviously this is just the cover thing, but what I was able to do is to pull off this, lift up the carpet, find the floorboard, and then find the big grommet that I can poke a hole through in order to run my two power wire through, along with the end of this switch, so I can get the little controller switch inside the cab. Now, that was the cleanest wiring job I've done, but when it comes to the wiring of the LEDs themselves, that'll have to be for another day, because I didn't really do it too fancy. Obviously it's dark outside, so it's time to flip them on, and I'll show you guys what I did to them. With these rock lights, and with most of them, I found out they come with this little controller thing. As you guys can see, it has A, B, C, and D on it. A turns them on and off. B can switch through the colors. Or no, B is actually for your brightness. C and D, I believe C makes them like flash and stuff. And D just switches through all your colors. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now that we're in here, let's go ahead and flick on the rock lights here. Just press this button. As you can see, this is the cleanest I could wire them, just through this little hole right here. And that is that. So, when you turn them on, when you first get them, you know, wired up, the first color you're going to have is blinking red until you grab your remote and you can switch them. I believe, yeah, it's D to click through the colors, and I believe it's B, yeah, to lower and raise the brightness. Yeah, you can go a little brighter than that, but that's lowering it now, so let's just let it right there. We'll leave about that bright. And if we go ahead and press D, as you guys can see, we can switch through all the different colors here. And you guys just got a little glimpse of the bad wiring job here, alright? So I'd ran the power wires through up against the frame as well. That was the good part. What I need to do is get these ran up under here around, because as you guys can see, I ran these two wires through that hole there, but I had way too much access wire, which isn't really good. So I will be redoing this wire job. Don't hate on me too much for it. And with these, I actually didn't have a drill yet, so I zip tied them in with the holes that are already in here. As you guys can see, there's random holes all around, so I went ahead and just zip tied them in the holes. As you guys can see, let me switch the color here. I mean, it lights up the wheel well pretty good. And I decided to do one under here on the frame. Once again, also zip tied. And then once I finally got a drill battery for our drill, I went ahead and drilled one in right here. No zip ties. And this was the cleanest I could run this wire. What I wanted to do was drill one hole right by it, so you can only see about this much wire. There's hardly any wire, and run the wires back down through. This is an SUV. This drills right into the cab if you drill far enough. So there really wouldn't have been any way for me to drill out a hole to get this wire just right through there and come on down. This is the cleanest job for temporarily right now. That's the best I could do. As you guys can see, it lights it up pretty good. I'm gonna do purple there. My favorite is green right there. Lights it up the most. Definitely a big fan of that. As you guys can see, and I wired them up in different spots on this side. As you guys can see, you got a little bit of action coming off right there, and one on top. That's because I was kind of shorted out with that wire right there. I didn't have too much more room there. I went ahead and did the exact same wire job that I did on the other side with this one here. Lights up the wheel well pretty good. Looks good once you come down the road. Once again, got one right here. And the wiring job itself under the cab really isn't that bad, if you ask me. Like, I kind of pushed them up against the frame, kind of like got them, they are out of the way, if you know what I mean. So they look pretty good in my opinion. I am definitely a pretty big fan of them, and I hope you guys are as well. So that's really it for the rock lights in today's video. Just thought I'd go ahead and show you guys them. I don't really know the brand, and I don't know if I still have the box inside the garage, but I can show you guys what they are, because I was looking up rock lights on YouTube and just to see like how people wired them in and stuff. And really, these were $72 on Amazon, by the way, and I went ahead and put all my zip ties and wires and connectors in there. A lot of people got these exact same ones here. I don't really know the brand or whatnot, but they're just called high power rock lights, RGB, on Amazon for $72, and comes with the full everything you need. And the box comes really fancy as well. As you guys can see, you got this adhesive strip here. This is where all the rock lights are lined up. I got the 8 rock lights. You can get all the way up to 12, I believe, but it all gets more expensive from there. So for $72, you can get yourself 8 rock lights. And the way that they recommend you to do them is to do 1 in this fender well, 1 or 2 under the frame, 1 here, 1 there, and then 1 right here. But what I decided to do is do 2 in the front one, and then as you guys can see, 1 in the middle lights it up more, in my opinion, more than I think 2 in the middle would do. And of course I just went with 1 in the back because that's all I could do. So in my opinion, it lights it up pretty good. I feel like it looks pretty good. And really that's it for my rock lights. And I'll put a link to them in the description down below. Really just look up rock lights for trucks, and it should be the first one that comes up. It's Amazon recommended. I know I'm not sponsored by it or anything, or like a Amazon affiliate or nothing. It's just telling you guys where I found it, how I got them here and stuff. So it's really just easy as that. And lucky for you guys, if you guys have a Ford F-250 or 350, because this is an Excursion, it sits on an F-250 or an F-350 frame, really depended on what motor's in it. I think since mine's a 6.8, it's on a F-350 frame. But yeah, if you just go ahead and take off this, pull up this if you have one, pull up your carpet's real easy. It's nothing like holding it in except for this, and then the little bit of it just goes back down there. So you lift this up and you pull up the carpet a little bit, you'll find a grommet that's pretty big, and you poke around holes through it. So I went and poked some holes through it, grabbed some wire, taped my wires to it, my power wire, positive and negative, as well as this here. Also, the positive and negative wires really weren't that long, so I went ahead and connected some more wires to it. I went ahead and bought some, I believe it's 16 gauge wire. Yeah, I went ahead and bought some 16 gauge wire, nothing too crazy. Bought some 16 gauge wire connectors, and then went ahead and extended my wires. Obviously I extended a little bit too much from what you guys saw under there. Need to really cut that down and get it at the right length so I don't have just a bunch of wires. It looks really bad in my opinion, and if I run them behind the frame, really won't change much if you really are inspecting the job, you know. But in my opinion, they look pretty good overall. I'm a big fan of them. I only have 8 rock lights in total. I already showed you guys where I ran them all. That's it for this video. I showed you guys a little controller thingy that you can put on a keychain, and how they light up, and how I ran mine, and all that good stuff. So it really just took me a Saturday afternoon, and then I had to leave that Saturday. So a Sunday morning before church, went ahead and laid under my truck running wires through. So it was really just that easy. And then I had it done for that night, and it looked pretty good when I went rolling around that night. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new and haven't already. And with that one, catch you guys very, very soon in the next one.